happy TNG Tuesday. So I'm really excited about this video today because I'm gonna be talking about one of my most favorite things that I've ever done in Disney World, like ever. I have two of these to talk about, but today I'm talking about the very first one. This was a super fun limited edition experience and I somehow caught wind of it, heard about it, did it, and I went by myself because nobody would go with me. Nobody knew what it was. It was like a whole thing. And I had the best time ever. Like I would do it again and again and again. Can't even tell people enough how much fun it was. So I just wanted to tell you guys about it because it's so cool and it's not offered in Disney anymore. So today I'm talking about Club Villan. So for any of you that know, Club Villan was opened in 2016 for a very short amount of time in Hollywood Studios. It was in the building that's right by, like if you're going into the line for Rock and Roller Coaster and you look over that wall, there's like this kind of big abandoned building there that they use for events sometimes, and they put Club Villan in there. So you go to Hollywood Studios really late at night, like right before the park is closing, and you go into this special area and they hand you an invitation. And the invitation is from Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. And it says, you know, like, welcome in. I have some pictures I'm going to attach now. It says that you get to meet the villains, and the villains that you get to meet are, this was the most special part for me because it was so cool. They had the Queen of Hearts meeting as a face character, which has never been done before and never been done since. It was only done for this event because usually she comes out in fur, but she was done as a face character, which is so cool. And if you don't know what that means that it was her like real face. It was really her. And if you look at her during the Halloween parties and stuff like that, she's in a costume. But it was so cool to see her as like the real Queen of Hearts. So we got to meet Maleficent, Cruella de Vil, Queen of Hearts, and the Evil Queen. I have never met any of these people ever in the parks. So it was so cool and I was so excited to get all of their autographs. And the really special thing was that each character had their own like full setup, like backdrop, giant like seating area. It was really cool. And it said what time you can meet the character on your invitation, so there wasn't huge lines or crowds and you got a lot of time to interact with the characters. The invitations also had the signatures from all of the characters, but you could have them sign as well for you. And then it had the menu. And let me tell you, the menu at Club Villan, truly and honestly the best food I've ever had on Disney property, like ever. So I'm a vegetarian and I was 20 at the time when I went, but there was free alcohol included. Obviously I could not drink, but they had some really nice virgin options for me. And then they had vegetarian options for me as well, which is awesome because I always love being accommodated by Disney. Let me read some things off the menu for you. So they had a vegetarian kale and collared slaw with watermelon vinaigrette. So delicious. I have some pictures of my food as well. But my favorite part was the vegetarian black-eyed peas. I had never tasted black-eyed peas before and I was not really sure, but it was so delicious. They had vegetarian dirty rice too that went with the black-eyed peas, and the theming of everything was so incredible. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me talk about the event in itself. So you got there, you got this invitation, and you go in. And here's some footage of me walking into the event. So after you walk in and you see that it's kind of like set up like a wedding, there are these banquet like circle tables set up all around a dance floor, and then on the dance floor there's like a huge DJ booth. There's a bar on either side, And then lining the walls, there's buffet tables, like to go and get your food. And then in 4 areas around the room, there were different setups to meet the villains. Such a cool setup. In the middle of the dance floor, hanging from the ceiling, there was a giant poison dipped apple, full crystal. It was the coolest thing, and I have no idea where it is now, but it was honestly the coolest thing I've ever seen. The whole area was themed ridiculously well. So when you got in, there were no villains there yet. So you had time when you first got into the venue to go and take photos at each of their little sections by yourself, and there were PhotoPass people there. So of course, I definitely took advantage of this, and I will link all of my pictures of my little villain moments here. So you're sitting at your assigned table, and first things first, Dr. Facilier comes out. He's the man of the hour. And there was like another man there who was Dr. Facilier's he was like the MC of the night, but he wasn't like a villain or anything. He was just like a guy. And he was like singing live, like really well. It was super incredible. And then like Facilier would come out and like say some stuff, and then all the villains came out and they were dancing. And the girls that were dancing with the villains had like these beautiful costumes on. I'll show you here. So I really went into this having no idea what was gonna happen, and I was so pleasantly surprised. As soon as the first number started and everybody was dancing, we were right there at the edge of the dance floor, and it was so cool to experience. Dinner was served buffet style, so you can go up to a buffet on each side, and there were so many options, like I said, vegetarian options and things like that, but the food was so delicious. The menu is on the back of our invitations, and I'll show you that here. So they had a sauteed station, a carving station, and a cast iron station. Most of my stuff was in the cast iron station, like the vegetarian dirty rice and the black-eyed peas, which were, like I said, incredible. There was creamy polenta with fire roasted corn, which was super good. There was this like wild mushroom deal, and there were these little like loaves of bread. I'm telling you, best food I've had on Disney property. But the best part was that every villain station where you could meet and greet had their own dessert station. There was like every kind of dessert possible, and the coolest theming I have ever seen. I'm using my hands so much because I'm so excited right now. I have a few pictures here. There was a tiny cheesecake for Cruella de Vil with the little paw prints on it. For Maleficent, there was a little cupcake with green frosting and little chocolate horns. For the Queen of Hearts, there was a little heart-shaped plate with a red macaroon with a heart on it. Like, such good theming. The Evil Queen also had this, or maybe it was Maleficent's dessert. There were these little balls of like truffle, and they were on these spoons that was sitting in this like kind of like a wall with little holes in it, and the spoons were all in there, so you could like take your own spoon. I have a picture of that here. I have a picture of my virgin drink with like the cutest straw ever. The guy at the bar was very accommodating. He was making me all kinds of stuff. You would just like go up and get food, and then go up and get dessert, and go back to your seat, and you'd watch the show that was going on. And the show like came on and off kind of like hoop-de-doo, so you had like time to enjoy your food, but then you got to be entertained at the same time. And there was like live music, live dancing, the villains all danced, and then the villains came out and went to their spots, and you got to go up at your specific time and meet them. which was so cool. And I have some GoPro footage of some things. I was filming on a GoPro back then, so Lord help me, but here is some footage of me meeting some of the villains. So awesome because people were so into it. People were dancing, people were having so much fun. The space was gorgeous, the energy was just awesome. And then we were the last people in the park. So when we left, it was like totally empty Hollywood Studios. It was so cool. I'm so sad that they took Club Villan away, and I just want to know where all of the props went because the things that they had in there were seriously so incredible, so beautiful. And I hope that it comes back one day because it was seriously one of the most fun things I've ever done in the Disney parks. And it was only like $70 for my ticket, which is so cheap, especially like now, considering including that there was free alcohol, unlimited food, unlimited dessert. I mean, a dessert party now costs more than that and all you're getting is dessert. This was like a total event. So if you guys got to catch Club Villan, please comment below if you loved it as much as I did or if you didn't like it so much. I really want to know because I don't know who's been or who hasn't, and I would love to talk to somebody that's been there. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like, that would be so awesome. I like to know what you guys like so I can make more of that or less of that and kind of see how things are going. And of course, like every TNG Tuesday, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe so you can see all things Disney every Tuesday. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.